Good day, everyone. You had the Bub031 here again, and it's now time for a layout tour for October 2024. We're down at the club layout. It's a different session. I'm going to take you all through this, and we'll see a couple of trains go by. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. All right, so with this layout for this month of October, we have a simple dog bone that swishes back and forth. The yard is actually down the middle, and there's only one choke point, and that's between Connaught and Orleans, which I will show you, which is a beautiful scenery area. All right, so we first start off here at the superintendent's desk, where you come in, sign up a local. We have actually 10 locals out on this layout. As well, we also have all our passes laid out, our passengers, through freights, locals. As well, this is basically just the beginning of actually getting the layout going, so a lot of it was still sort of packed, and that's what our layout looked like. So we're going to start going west. We're leaving Ottawa Yard, heading westbound. We also had a big intermodal concept. We had some intermodal actually on this time. That's our engine and caboose facility right there. We then cross Rideau River, which has a single crossover. And then we are now moving on to Memorial Point. And this is a dedication to past members. We are moving now on to Three Bridges. Also attached to Three Bridges is a Mud Creek and Maryville Narrows. Basically, it's just a little station stop. We then curve around on St. Lawrence River Bridge, coming up to the first double crossover, which is Prescott. I am a little bit slower this time. I am taking my time. So, we are here at Castor River. Not as many cardboard buildings from last time. There has been so much done to Castor River. Like with scenery, it is looking amazing. And of course, this is the one where you have to switch all your switches electronically. We then hit Green Valley. And then we hit the curve and train station of Fallowfield. Moving right along. Coming around the curve, which is actually an elevated banked curve, which is nice. A super elevated curve. We then hit up York River, small little aggregate facility. And as well, it's a transfer track to what I'll show you after, to a mini branch. We then come up to Mandrake. And as you can see, the test train's starting to come out right now to test out the main line, making sure everything's working. Of course, it's exiting the tunnel of Cremona from the back of the fiddle yard. We then hit Apple Hill, right along to MP Foods and Vesta. Which is a food processing plant and another slight transfer as well. We then have Finch, which was an old abandoned line that used to cross the CP main. And then we come to the other side of where the fiddle yard comes out, which is Beachburg Siding. And then back to Three Bridges. I think I hear a train coming. we're back at the yard now, and now we're going to be moving east along the main line. We have our intermodal yard in the back with a slight transfer track for lumber right there. Our next module here is a station, aka this is Bayview Junction. Sort of shows off what it was like when it was built. This is where the actual O train comes up to. They actually do come up a hill. Around Bayview Junction, we have Deerfield, which is a simple crossover. And coming onto the curve of Pine Point. Yeah, sorry for the maps. It's just that this was all from setup. We just passed Willowdale, and then we have Braeside, a small little station. And then we have Mansfield Junction, which goes off to another branch, which you'll see after. Moving along the long curve here, we're at Ottawa River Bridge. Coming off that, we are at Reichenbach Falls. And then we hit the Walsh modules, so Clinderwin, Kerndale, and Mine Cloghog. And yes, there is a track cleaning area there to put locos on if you want to clean your wheels. Moving along, we have South Keys. Basically another transitway train station. With our next module is St. Anthony's Yard. Transfers as well as the intermodal, and you can park your train here to take yourself a break. Give the crews a little bit of a lunch break. That way there you take it easy, relax, get off your feet. Just rest a bit. Nothing was in the yard yet, but the train was starting to get populated. They were just doing it in the yard. It's gonna be moving to St. Anthony's shortly. Moving right along, we now hit Orleans, which is another aggregate point. And this is the choke point that I was talking about. This is Spanish River, Wolf Creek, and White River. All is one. Just a nice curvy module. Right next to that is Jackfish Bay, which is a big sweeping curve with a mountain you go through. Right up to Connaught, which comes back to double main track line. We then cross Moccasin Bridge. Right to Hawthorne. So we're going to keep moving along to the right on the outside of the East Loop here. We come up to Mason Creek, which has a quarry, sawmill, and deals with livestock. We then come up to a corner that is called Bell's Corner, which is just scenery. We then have Arnprior Power, Elwood, which is another transfer, and Spencer's Gap. We then have Glen Tay, which is a bottling facility and tool facility. And then we come up to DeBojo. The grain elevators weren't brought out because DeBojo was getting stored at the club this weekend, and there probably wasn't going to be any room to store the buildings, so I kept the buildings back here. They will be out for the November layout. We then come along to Colonnade, But we're not going to go around the curve yet. We're actually going to keep going straight because there's a small transfer and branch here. This is Stillwater. And then right at the end, we have Timber Grove. Before we're going to come back to Colonnade, which has the Superior Propane and McAsphalt plant. Attached to that is Gary, which is a crossover, which brings us back to Hawthorne. That train actually caught me off guard. Okay, so coming off Mansfield Junction, we are actually at Brantford. This is all switching in one area, so this is one of the branch lines, but this is all one big industry. And it deals with farming equipment, etc. There's a lot here at Brantford. Comes out once, maybe 3 times per layout per year, I believe. Coming off York River now, we actually have Rock Cut and then the turntable. That's pretty much it for mostly the layout. And of course on the back side, that is the fiddle yard, so nothing was filled in. It's a tight area to get into. But yeah, that's the layout. So we're now at the yard area. I just want to show you where all the car cards are and all that. There were a lot of trains, like I said, there was 10. So we had everything ready to go by, I believe, 9:40, 9:45. And that's all your actual work orders and all that. Back here, this is the car shop and as well the designation area. So you use the alpha coatings for the car cards. And as well, this is where cars get fixed. Like if they're having wheel issues or coupler issues. And running this layout is JMRI. And we also use that. And this computer right here has our ESU programming. So we have both ways to program it, either Digitrax or ESU, which is all connected to the brain. And that is going to be it, everyone. So this is going to be it for the layout tour of 2024, October. I hope all of you all enjoyed the tour while watching it. There will be more videos to come. More model railroading, more trackside, etc. Thank you all for watching. And as always, make sure the signal's green and keep moving down the line.